Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys promote offensive assistant Steve Shimko to QB coach. The Dallas Cowboys filled out the offensive side of their coaching staff on Monday, keeping continuity and the goal of getting the best football out of quarterback Dak Prescott in mind through the entire process. The decision as to who will actually be in the quarterback's room with Prescott comes after Dallas already added former Carolina Panthers and Buffalo Bills quarterbacks coach Ken Dorsey as an analyst. Instead of Dorsey, it will be an internal promotion for current analyst Steve Shimko. Shimko replaces a carryover from Mike McCarthy's staff, who also worked his way up from offensive assistant to quarterbacks coach in Scott Tolzien. The former Packers QB was Prescott's QB coach over the last 2 seasons. Clearly, the Cowboys value closeness and familiarity as things Prescott has highlighted as important himself, yet still allowed new head coach Brian Schottenheimer to have his say in promoting a coach with ties to his days in Seattle. In Schottenheimer's first season as offensive coordinator for the Seahawks in 2018, Shimko was a first-time NFL coach as an analyst. That Seahawks team went 10-6 and lost in the wild card round to the Cowboys, Prescott's first career playoff victory. Shimko entered the ranks of professional football after lower-level stops at Rutgers, Western Michigan, and JUCO Garden City, but did have a stop in the SEC at Georgia as a graduate assistant in 2015. Shimko served as assistant quarterbacks coach in his second season with the Seahawks, seeing the benefit of staying at a stop long enough to be promoted. Current Panthers head coach Dave Canales was the QB coach he worked under. Shimko returned to college after the 2019 season, and again stuck at Boston College long enough to go from tight ends coach to quarterbacks in 2022 and offensive coordinator/quarterback coach in 2023. The BC Eagles ranked top 15 in the country in rushing attempts and yards per game in 2023 with Shimko as OC and QB coach. His resume checks all of the boxes of being a scheme and philosophy fit in what the Cowboys under Schottenheimer are looking to accomplish. The overall youth of the Cowboys' new staff has been pointed out by many as a potential positive when it comes to not only introducing new ideas, but helping this team create a new culture and identity where everything is earned. The Cowboys must find ways to show any complacency that led to a 7-10 regression out of the playoffs is on its way out of the star. Brian Schottenheimer's first staff as head coach of the Cowboys has come together quickly, and for now shows a level of coherency on the football side of things this franchise has been lacking. As for how it will translate into on-field success, the best that can be said here is that all 32 fan bases are now playing the same waiting game Dallas is following the Eagles' Super Bowl win. Cowboys' Kellen Moore decision may backfire in a way Jerry Jones didn't consider. When everybody expects him to zig, Jerry Jones zags. All signs pointed toward Kellen Moore returning to the Dallas Cowboys as Mike McCarthy's replacement. Jones had other ideas, hiring Brian Schottenheimer in the biggest shock of this year's coaching cycle. Moore is the leading candidate to land the New Orleans Saints head coach job, but nothing is guaranteed. Liam Cohen taught us that. It hurt watching Moore, a former Cowboys player and longtime assistant coach, help the Philadelphia Eagles win Super Bowl 59. Hiring him to replace McCarthy the following day may have eased the pain somewhat. Moore was seemingly on his way to New Orleans, but Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni has other ideas. Moore is a Super Bowl champion with the Eagles, but he's now destined to take a head coach job. Right? Well, maybe not. Speaking to the TV broadcast after the game, Sirianni made one last attempt to keep Moore in Philadelphia. "Let's run this back, Kellen," said Sirianni. "Wait, what? That's not how this was supposed to play out." Jerry Jones' decision could yet screw over the Cowboys in the NFC East. Moore has proven himself as an excellent offensive coordinator, and he could become an even better head coach. But the Saints' job isn't exactly the most desirable landing spot for any future head coach, considering their salary cap mess. What if Sirianni can convince Moore to stick around in Philadelphia? Schottenheimer's task to lead Dallas back to the NFC East title would become far more challenging. When the Cowboys hired Schottenheimer over Moore, we all assumed Moore would still get a head coach gig elsewhere. There's at least a non-zero chance he will return to Philadelphia and remain a division rival for at least another year. Schottenheimer may become an incredible head coach. Perhaps hiring Moore wouldn't have worked out. But there's no doubt that replacing McCarthy, a Super Bowl winner and highly successful NFL head coach, with the inexperienced and unproven Schottenheimer is a risk. It may also directly benefit the Eagles as they look to retain their Super Bowl title in 2025. Cowboys add massive WR prospect, power running back in new mock draft. The Dallas Cowboys have plenty of work to do this offseason as the team looks to revamp its roster to fit the new coaching staff. On the offensive side of the ball, the Cowboys need to add playmakers, and that's the direction they go in a new NFL mock draft. Chad Reuter of NFL.com shared a new 3-round mock draft that addresses wide receiver and running back in the first 2 rounds while adding a big body in the trenches in round 3. In the first round, Reuter has the Cowboys selecting Arizona Wildcats star wide receiver Teteroa McMillan, who would give the team a massive pass catcher opposite CeeDee Lamb at 6'5". Dallas takes the top player still on the board in McMillan, whose 6'5" frame, long strides, and strong hands make him a threat down the sideline, in the red zone and over the middle, Reuter wrote. This season, McMillan hauled in 84 catches for 1,319 yards and 8 touchdowns. It is the second consecutive year for McMillan to surpass the 1,000-yard mark. In the second round, Reuter has the Cowboys adding a key piece to the backfield in the form of North Carolina Tar Heels power back Amarian Hampton, while rounding out the first 3 rounds with South Carolina Gamecocks defensive tackle T.J. Sanders. North Carolina Tar Heels running back Amarian Hampton runs for a touchdown. Bob Donanamain images Hampton capped off his college career rushing for 1,660 yards and 15 touchdowns in 2024, while adding 38 catches for 373 yards and 2 scores. Bolstering the offense with McMillan and Hampton would be a major boost for Dallas, while Sanders provides a versatile piece to the defensive line. The 2025 NFL Draft will be held in Green Bay, Wisconsin, with the first round on Thursday, April 24. Rounds 2 and 3 will be held on Friday, April 25, while the final rounds will play out on Saturday, April 26. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Teteroa McMillan? Leave your opinion in the comments.